Hey guys, welcome back to Around the Leagues, the number one podcast for people excited to watch the Knicks beat the Pacers' ass tonight. As always, I'm Keenan Allstott, my co-host Luke Parrish. Luke, what's going on?
Hey, nothing much. Just ready for some more stuff to fill my schedule. NBA's back tonight.
It
Well,
is.
technically it was back last night, but
Yeah.
it's back in full swing tonight. Probably, I'm assuming there's 13 games tonight,
Yeah.
and then Christmas Day games. So
I was about to say it's Christmas week. We got all the goods this week. We got NBA Christmas basketball. We got Saints Vikings on Christmas night. Got bowl games starting this week. College basketball is getting exciting all of a sudden. But before we get into all that, Luke, you got any good Christmas plans?
I just thought about this. As soon as you said it's Christmas week, I had a nice laugh.
You
If you
getting
guys
some mac and cheese? You getting mac
listen,
and cheese this week?
listen. If you guys recall Thanksgiving, we had this whole mac and cheese debacle.
Yeah, yeah.
And I want to say, like, Monday night, we're sitting down for dinner, and they said, they went through the rundown for Christmas morning because we're going to eat earlier in the day so we can be done in time to watch the Vikings piss away their season on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going through, like, oh, we've got ham and mashed potatoes and whatever else and the dessert. And they said, are we missing anything? Well, listen, if you guys recall, they didn't just say mac and cheese, so I'm sitting there, I'm like a little dumbfounded, and I start laughing, and they're like, "What did I miss?" And I'm like, "I don't know, maybe the goddamn mac and cheese." I've never had mac and cheese at holidays. Well, sorry, your fucking holidays suck, okay? But we're having mac and cheese. I don't care if you don't want to make it or not. Somebody in this house is making mac and cheese, because obviously we don't have the big old family get together like we planned. So it's just people at the house. We're just having our normal meal. No mac and cheese, but I will say my aunt is saving the day. She's bringing me some. I think she's bringing sugar cookies and peanut butter fudge.
Ooh.
So
Oh shit! The sugar cookies has got the icing on it, or got the rock sugar.
uh, like the icing, like she decorates them herself, stuff like she
Oh, homemade
makes them.
icing,
Got the cookie cutters. I don't know if the icing's homemade, but the icing's
man.
good.
Oh shit!
Probably have some Christmas trees, maybe some elves, a Santa Claus, all this kind of shit, you know.
You gonna do stockings? Stockings as well?
Oh yeah, we always do stockings.
Stocking cookies?
Probably yeah.
Oh shit! And peanut butter fudge?
And peanut butter chocolate fudge. She's making molasses cookies. I don't know if that's coming my way or not. I didn't have
Oh shit!
molasses cookies. If you guys haven't had molasses cookies, you're really missing out. That shit's delicious.
Fire! Fire!
Um, and then I mean I don't know how she's gonna have time. She just had she didn't have the grandchild, but yeah, she had her one of her kids had a kid, so I don't know if she's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
have
yeah.
time. But hey, shout to everybody sacrificing to make this holiday worth it for me. I appreciate it.
Is that the only
But what?
desserts on the menu?
I don't know. I don't know if we're having pie or anything.
What's your go-to pie?
Key lime
Oh, that's right. That's right.
or
Key
peanut
lime.
butter. A good peanut butter pie, but I mean,
Peanut butter pie is pretty fire.
I'm not gonna
That
sit
is
here
pretty
and
fire.
lie and say that I like the peanut butter pie that we have at this house most of the time.
Now, I mean, are you guys going pecan pie?
Mm, listen, if you know my dad, we ain't having any sort of fruit pie or nut pie, cream pie. Uh, no, we ain't doing that shit. It's gonna be peanut butter or it's gonna be nothing. So
Yeah. I think for this year, I don't know. I just got word literally this morning that my uncle and my grandparents were coming over. My sister's not coming, so hey, that's we don't have to get into that. That's a lot. That's a long story. But I don't know what the menu is. Hopefully that there's going to be dessert. I'd hate to be the one making dessert, although I probably will end up doing that tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll probably do the same thing we did on Thanksgiving, which is like barbecue and shit. Real Christmassy type meal there.
dude, I wanted to do the old Chinese food for Christmas. I did it one
Yo,
time.
yo, that sounds
I
good.
remember this would have been like
Orange chicken with the white rice.
I don't
Woo.
like orange chicken.
fuck do you eat then?
I mean, I like it. Bourbon chicken,
Oh,
teriyaki.
okay. Okay.
Teriyaki from an Asian place is much better than teriyaki from Zaxby's.
Very.
But there was a
Like that
year.
was a question.
I'm just saying, some people get it twisted. But I was with my cousin. This probably would have been freshman or sophomore year at Wabash.
Yeah.
I was staying with my cousin over the holidays because we were doing something, and I ended up just staying a little bit longer, and I was there for Christmas Eve. And instead of just coming back to Shelbyville, I stayed up in Indy.
Yeah.
And I went to, like, out of nowhere, they were like, well, you want to go to Christmas at his wife's parents? And they didn't know I was going, so they made me like a quick little kettle corn bag, and I'm like, hey, that's good enough for me as a gift. But I showed up, and they had the Asian or Chinese food, like they had it all over the table. You know, they had
Oh wow.
box. I mean, they went all out, and I was like, I could get used to this.
That sounds fire, actually. Shit.
No, I mean, my dad does not like Chinese food. He doesn't like. I mean, we'll go to. He doesn't like anything that's not chicken tenders. So if we go to, there's a Mexican restaurant not far from us, and every time we go, like everybody's getting like, what's that called?
Like chicken on the beach or something like that?
Like a skillet. You know what I'm talking about? I'm blanking on the word. You know, it's got like the chicken and the peppers.
Yeah.
Fajita.
Like a fajita? Yeah.
Dude, I will. And everybody's got all that kind of coming to the table. My dad's like, yeah, I'll have the chicken tenders and fries. And it's just like, you're doing a disservice to all of us, but hey, your choice, my guy. But yeah, if I could do Chinese food, I would. But
that sounds heat, dude. You guys do like you watch like Christmas movies and stuff like this time of the year?
I mean, again, my dad. I mean, you see Santa Claus is coming to town. You bet your ass he's watching it and recording it.
Is that your go-to Christmas movie?
It's any of the old ones is what I'll watch. I'll watch Santa Claus is Coming to Town, The Year Without a Santa Claus, the original Rudolph, Charlie Brown. I'm not really into. I'm not crazy about the Charlie Brown movies. That's
you rock with like Home Alone and The Grinch.
Listen, okay, The Grinch, no, it's just whatever to me. Home Alone. This is a tricky one for me because I don't like the movie. I feel like it's so overrated. It's just a dumb premise of a movie, which I could go on and on about that. But if I'm really being honest with myself, I need to give it another chance because Joe Pesci is the greatest actor of all time. And I just don't. I never gave him enough credit for, I don't know, being a legend. I feel like if I had that in the back of my mind, then I would enjoy it. But Macaulay Culkin sucks, so I'm not.
Well, I was gonna say now the Macaulay Culkin movies 1 and 2 are so much better than 3 and 4. Those movies,
Max Keeble or whatever the fuck.
Oh, dude, man, I'm almost embarrassed that those movies exist, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say that. Yeah, I don't like Home Alone, but yeah, the original ones are much better.
Yeah, you watch Elf?
I used to. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I don't really like Christmas. Like, dude, I don't want to wake up and watch a Christmas Story on loop for 24 hours.
That fucking sucks.
I would much rather watch the Knicks get their shit kicked in on Christmas Day than watch a Christmas Story in the goddamn bunny costume walking down the stairs. Oh, it's so funny. It's just a great holiday movie. No.
Now, when the kid sticks his tongue on the pole, that I do get a kick out of that. But
yeah, you're like 7.
Yeah.
That movie sucks. Christmas movie. I don't like Christmas movies really in general. Only like the old school like claymation, really shitty looking ones are the ones I like. But
yeah,
Miser versus Snow Miser is a banger.
Do you and your family do Christmas music?
Nah.
Oh, so we do, man. Oh man, I've been rocking out to some Christmas music this week. It just, I don't know, it gets me in my feels, gets me in my jam, man. It's
Say, Justin Bieber's Drummer Boy
Slaps.
Kind of a banger, my guy.
Slaps.
A little bit of a banger.
Yeah, I think if I'm going Christmas songs, like I like Feliz Navidad. Just that's easy to beat bop too. Rudolph the Red-Nosed, Frosty the Snowman, Jingle Bell Rock. Now, the one that everyone likes that I don't like just because of the premise of it, Mariah Carey. Oh my gosh! I mean, she does nothing for 11 months. December comes and she gets the fattest check ever. Like,
Yeah.
imagine how sweet that gig's got to be. Like, you make one banger one time and then you just ride that gravy train until you die. Like, that's got to be sweet.
Dude, it's got to be awesome. Oh,
You go into any department store and every 12th minute that song plays. Like goodness gracious.
I don't like Christmas movies, but I do have a holiday movie that I just can't not watch it. I ended up having to buy it the other day on Amazon Prime just so I would have it.
Oh, really?
On Netflix. Dude, 8 Crazy Nights is the goddamn funniest movie.
I haven't seen that one.
You've not seen it? You've seen 8 Crazy Nights?
I have not. Who's in it?
It's Adam Sandler.
Oh, shit. No, I haven't seen it.
Adam Sandler, animated movie about Hanukkah. Dude, absolute. Dude,
I'm gonna have to check that out, man.
It's hilarious, dude. It's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. It's so quotable. The whole movie's just top notch.
Oh shit, I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I would 100% recommend it. Yeah, other than that, like Christmas is different. I mean, it used to be Christmas Eve with the family, Christmas Day with so Christmas Eve with the extended family, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day with the the family.
Yeah.
Now we don't have Christmas Eve this year. Don't really have much going on outside of that.
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day is just kind of just wake up, maybe do presents in the morning, or probably around lunchtime, and then.
See, we haven't celebrated holidays for a long time, but the way that we used to do it, we always, because I don't really got too much extended family, so Christmas Eve, we would always, me and my parents and my sister, we'd always get in a truck or something, drive around and look at Christmas lights, because we got Santa Claus down here in the area, we got some places here in Evansville, and then small towns near the house, and, we stopped doing that, when I went to college, and then, we do all our stuff on Christmas Day, but with not being a giant family, it always felt like Sunday afternoons. You know what I mean? Just real small get-togethers and stuff. Whenever I was years ago when I was in a relationship with my ex, she did Christmas Eve, and that was the only time I ever celebrated really anything on Christmas Eve was with her family.
That is a very weird concept.
To celebrate on Christmas Eve?
Tomorrow's a holiday. Let's celebrate it a day early.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense because if you're going to if you have halves of families, right? You have your maternal side, your paternal side.
Yeah.
It makes it easier, but it still is very odd.
I know. So I mean, I don't know. It's weird because you don't do that with New Year's. You know what I mean? New Year's, it's like, hey, I'm gonna spend New Year's Eve with my friends, and then New Year's Day we'll spend it with the fam. You know what I mean? Christmas gets Eve and Day for the fam. What the fuck's going on? I don't know.
Dude, I feel like I just had this inkling, as they say, that this year is gonna be the year that we just stop celebrating holidays because obviously with COVID, we're just not celebrating and just playing it safe. And then I feel like there's not gonna be another holiday till Easter. It's not really a big holiday. I mean, I guess we celebrate it, but it's boring. And
I feel like Black Friday this year was really subdued. Not too much was especially down here. Usually it's popping and stuff. And because I worked Black Friday, and on my drive in there was no traffic. I was like, man, that surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah. I've been Black Friday shopping once, hated it. I was in line for 2 hours just to get I was with my cousin. We got PS4 games, and something else at Best Buy. We just stood there, and it was the worst experience of my life. I would not recommend it. I know one year I went with my grandparents to Walmart at like 1 in the morning to get a Wii.
Yeah.
Don't recommend that either. But yeah, dude, Black Friday sucks. I don't know. It feels like holidays are just gonna like fall off the cliff for us, which is weird. I mean, I don't like completely hate it because sometimes family's not always fun. You know, you got a
Sure.
lot
Sure.
of people.
You love
Uh,
talking politics on Thanksgiving?
I do not enjoy it in the slightest. Uh, but sometimes you just have to roll with the punches, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Christmas is whatever. I mean, Christmas is a good holiday because at least like the food's usually good. 'Cause we have ham instead of that bullshit turkey. There's usually a game on. This year we've got basketball and football and probably college football.
Yeah.
So I'll get through the day. And then Sunday or Saturday would be Boxing Day, big old Premier League day. It's like
Yeah.
it's their equivalent to NBA on Christmas. I'm all for it, dude.
Hey man, I'm looking forward to Boxing Day this year, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Boxing Day guy. If you guys have not figured it out, but enough with Christmas. We Santa Claus will be coming down the chimney sometime tomorrow night, but we'll talk more about him sometime. Maybe see what he brought us next week. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about where you want to start. Fuck all that. I want to start college football. We've been talking all year about how Cincinnati is the deserving fourth team. If you guys watched any college football last weekend, we kind of predicted it. Notre Dame got the doors blown off of them by Clemson. We've been saying it for weeks. We don't think Notre Dame is a top 10 team in the country, let alone top 4. Somehow Notre Dame writes an 8-figure check to the College Football Playoff Committee, and they play Alabama on New Year's Day. Cincinnati gets the shaft and plays Georgia in the Peach Bowl, a game no one could possibly care about.
Yeah.
Luke, what the hell happened, and what the hell can we do to fix it?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly what we expected because we knew Notre Dame was going to get their shit kicked in. You played Clemson at home against basically half of their defense and a backup freshman quarterback. You beat them in like double overtime or overtime,
Yep,
whatever it was.
yep.
You play them at a neutral site at full strength, and Clemson absolutely kicked the dog dick out of them.
Oh yeah.
What I mean, Notre Dame had a shot early. They were up 3-0, had a 20-yard field goal and missed it, and then the game completely shifted from that.
Yeah. The
Uh,
game wasn't close either. I mean, the game was like 31-3, and it felt worse than that.
yeah, it ended up being. I think the final was 34-10, which I'm assuming Notre Dame's score to make it from 34-3 to 34-10 put them in the playoff, which is it's just a joke.
Atrocious.
And we all knew it. And Texas A&M didn't play. I mean, they played Tennessee. Didn't look great, but they still got the win. They should have got in over Notre Dame. Florida, with I think 3 losses now after losing to Bama in the SEC title, they put up a fight. They deserve to be in over Notre Dame.
Cincinnati, our boys, they deserve to be in. Hell of a game against Tulsa on Saturday.
That was a very funny. That was one of the better games of Conference Saturday.
Oh, for sure.
Ohio State got off to a slow start, but that was still that was a hard fought game. That's what you want in a Big Ten championship. Is what you're kind of accustomed to.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll get into this a little bit more. Iowa State being fucking 6th in the country was a joke all along.
Sure.
They go out and get their shit rocked by Oklahoma.
Yep.
Who was not good this year. They were good. They started out slow. Then Iowa's AD, who was on the College Football Playoff Committee, said it was down to Iowa State and Indiana for New Year's 6 games, which is basically, if you guys don't know, it's just the big bowl games. That's the top 6 bowl games of the season that aren't obviously part of the playoff. Said it came down to IU and Iowa State. Iowa State had a better resume. I don't know how what was it, a 6-3 record with losses to Texas, Louisiana, and Oklahoma count as quality. They lost to Oklahoma State in the regular season. Oh no, Texas was their signature win, and IU didn't beat anybody that had a winning record. Well, if they lose to Penn State's got a winning record. If they lose to I believe it was Wisconsin, they've got a winning record. So yeah, if you beat somebody, that's going to hurt their record. That's just the way it rolls. That's how it makes sense. Iowa State was not. They lost at home by 17 points to Louisiana Lafayette. But since they played a team who finished the season in the top 25, that bolstered their resume somehow. Iowa State is not good. They only fell to number 10 in the country with 3 losses.
Although, I do think they would beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, I think A&M, Florida, Cincinnati, Indiana, Iowa State, and
I would probably put BYU over
Northwestern
Notre Dame right now.
BYU's maybe. BYU's tricky because they played one good team all year and looked like ass.
It's very true. But that was on short notice. They didn't know they were playing them until 48 hours before the game.
Yeah,
and they traveled cross country.
It's tough to gauge just how good they are because you don't see. Like we don't know how much they were prepared, anything like that. I mean, obviously
you putting Coastal Carolina over Notre Dame?
It'd be close. Notre Dame's probably got more firepower on defense, which is going to hurt. I mean, Coastal Carolina's offense isn't great.
Yeah.
But
what about USC if they would have played this year?
Nah, USC fucking sucks.
Hey, they're Pac-12 champs. You can put some respect.
No, they lost to Oregon.
Champs. Oh, that's right. Never mind. You can disrespect.
And Oregon, who went 3-2 and got gifted a shot at the Pac-12 title because Washington got disqualified. Oregon squeaks out a win over USC. Oregon gets a New Year's 6 game over Indiana. Indiana finished the season. I believe the AP and Coaches Poll ranked them 7th in the country. Highest team to ever not get a New Year's 6 game. Last gripe I have with that, they ended up going, 6-1 on the season. Their only loss was a 7-point loss to Ohio State, and their bowl game is against a 4-6 Ole Miss team in the Outback Bowl. And Ole Miss just simply isn't good. Indiana might not come out to play just because we've seen it happen. Teams just don't feel like it's necessary. You're going to have guys declare for the draft who aren't going to play. Sure. If Indiana is playing that game at full strength, they beat Ole Miss by 40 points. Like, Ole Miss is not even close. They turn the ball over. Their defense blows, dude. They couldn't stop a toddler running up the middle, okay?
Yeah.
It's ugly. They are not good. If Indiana gives a shit, they're beating the brakes off of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just an atrocious end of the season by the playoff. No way Notre Dame should get in. I hope Bama just absolutely kills them.
I mean, really, the deserving number 4 team is Cincinnati, and I mean that's the gimmick all year has been put Cincinnati in. What I truly think they're number 4 because you can't put A&M in because they lost by 28 to Alabama. So we've seen how that story unfolds already. Notre Dame, I mean, they've already lost to a playoff team by more than 3 touchdowns. I mean, I guess it was 3 touchdowns. My bad. You can't. I mean, it's really hard to put them in. Cincinnati, they went undefeated. I mean, what more do you want out of a team?
Let's not forget that Notre Dame in any big game they've played in the last, 5 years.
Yeah.
They lost. They gave up 45 points to Michigan. Yeah. They gave up 41 points to Miami, I believe, and lost that one 41-8. They lost 30-3 to Clemson last year. They lost 34-10 to Clemson this year.
Yep.
They lost. It was like what? They lost by 40 to Bama the one year in the playoff or in the title game.
Well, let's give them some credit for the Clemson win earlier this year because if they lose that game in double overtime, Saturday's game doesn't even matter. I mean, So let's give them a little bit of credit. They did beat a underhanded Clemson team that was ranked number 3 in the country. Let's go ahead. You know what, Notre Dame? Congratulations on that moral victory. Let's.
Hey, shout out to Brian Kelly for being an absolute dickhead. For saying, "Oh, we're not gonna play in the playoff if we can't have fans in the stadium." When you guys were at home against a bad team, not a
And
bad
you rushed the fucking
rushed
field.
the field, risked everything, and then you're
Yeah.
gonna bitch you don't get to have your mom in the stands to watch you get your shit rocked by Alabama here in a couple of weeks, dude.
Yep.
Alabama, if they don't win that game by 5 scores, I'm gonna be so pissed. They
Yeah.
should kill them.
I was about to say, I don't know what the line is, but it really feels like Alabama's going to cover it.
And okay, if your argument is that well, Bama's going to beat anybody by 40 points, fine, then don't let Notre Dame be that team. Let it be Cincinnati. And let Cincinnati prove that they're just as talented. Because it's bullshit that Notre Dame keeps getting shot year after year because they've got a big following, a big fan base, and it's going to make the NCAA money. Guess who it's also going to make money for? Everybody who puts the money on the Bama money line.
Yeah.
Because Bama, it's not going to be a fun game. Bama they're not. I don't understand this either. Bama doesn't have 3 finalists for the Heisman, and it should be 3 Bama players. Trevor Lawrence had a good year, should not be in it. He did not play significantly enough games.
Sure.
And Book, get the fuck out of here. Okay, I'm not going to get into it. Mac Jones, one of the best quarterbacks. Kyle Trask, big deal. Guy couldn't win a big game to save his life. Yep. Najee Harris, best running back in the country. Devontae Smith had 1,500 yards and 17 touchdowns at wide receiver.
Yeah, pretty good.
Bama's not going to lose, okay? He just had like 15 catches for 185 yards in the SEC title game when everybody knows he's getting the ball.
Yeah.
Bama will beat the brakes off of anybody in the playoff.
Yeah.
And then
I
on
agree.
the Clemson side, Dabo Swinney's out here sitting there saying, oh, Ohio State's 11th in the country. That's how he ranked them on the coaches poll. Probably to skew the playoff a little bit, try to get them to knock Ohio State out because he doesn't want to play them because he knows damn well that last year Ohio State outplayed them, but a bullshit targeting call in the first half gave Clemson life.
Yeah.
Clemson is a very good team, and I think Trevor Lawrence obviously is going to make them – he's going to give them a shot to win a title no matter what. But Ohio State's just as good of a team. I don't care that they struggled in the first half against Northwestern. I also get real tired of Justin Fields has, like a quarter and a half of bad play against one of the top defenses in the country, and he's no longer the second-best quarterback in the draft. But Zach Wilson dices up an atrocious UCF defense for a meaningless bowl game, and he's now, he might leapfrog Trevor Lawrence. He's already passed Justin Fields. Dude, shut the fuck up. I like Zach Wilson. This hype is getting absurd.
Yeah,
I liked him. I didn't like him at first. I watched him a little bit, thought he was really good. Obviously, he's a good quarterback. He is not better than Justin Fields right now. His infrastructure could be better. That's still to be determined. Right now, as a prospect, it is not close. Justin Fields is far and away the number 2 quarterback.
So speaking of teams like BYU, Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, obviously we talked about college football playoff and how it seems pretty rigged that they're not going to get in. How would you propose? What would you say those teams need to do in order to give themselves a shot in order to get into the college football playoff?
Yeah, I mean obviously it's a Power 5. You have to be in a Power 5 conference and win that title to get in. If that's going to be the case, you put any decent group of 5 team, you put them in a Power 5 conference, okay? I don't care how you do it. You spread it out. You can make it. I mean, I've got it. I went through just geographically. Obviously, this wouldn't make a whole lot of sense because of teams might have to move around and stuff like that. But you can get 18 teams in a conference for all I care. Make it even tougher to win it. Okay? But here's what I came up with. This is just hypothetical. Get this out of the way. Get everybody in the Power 5. Whoever comes out on top of that, then you put them in the playoff. The ACC, you add Coastal Carolina, App State, Buffalo, and UCF. They're all on the East Coast. They're all decent year in and year out.
UCF, maybe not. They got rocked last night. Who cares? 18 teams in the ACC now. You mix it up. You might be thinking, no, Notre Dame's there. They're 19. That would give them 19 teams. No, psych. Notre Dame's out of the ACC because that doesn't make sense geographically. We'll get to that in a minute. Actually, we'll get to it right now. The Big Ten, Notre Dame. You add Notre Dame because they're right there, dead center of it. You add Notre Dame and Cincinnati. Big Ten's up 16 total teams. They're all right there. I mean, what? Wisconsin's furthest west, but then you got Penn State over in the east. We can consider moving Penn State and Rutgers and Maryland, put them somewhere else too.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, I'm sorry, but you get to pick your own conference because you're independent and you just want the easiest route to the playoff. Congrats, it worked. Well, now you got to actually earn it because we're not going to sit here and let you play Pittsburgh every goddamn year. But, oh, golly, Pittsburgh was good in the, late 80s, so let's just keep them going now. No, put them in the Big Ten. Make them play Ohio State, Northwestern, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Cincinnati now. Cincinnati, best team in the, the American.
Yeah.
Put them in the Big Ten. Let's see how they go against the big dogs. They play Indiana next year, week 3, I believe, of the season. Hey, test for everybody. Now, I don't know if Cincinnati is going to be the same team next year because they're losing their quarterback and probably half their secondary. So, obviously, if they lose that game, well, you can't dispute this year's team with next year's. It's just not the same squad, okay? So, I get that. It's going to be tough to gauge. Big 12 sucks. Take it out. I don't care. But if we have to keep it, put SMU in Houston. They're not great, but they're in Texas. They're going to get if they put them in Power 5, it's going to help their recruiting. Big 12 is a joke of a conference. I don't want to sit here and watch Oklahoma win it every year, and Kansas is going to win the basketball title every year. It gets annoying. It gets atrocious. It's not fun for any party involved. Pac-12, again, it's a joke. Nobody's going to make the playoff out of the Pac-12 for the next decade, probably. Give them BYU and Boise State. They're the only two teams out there that are decent that aren't in the Power 5. BYU bitches because they don't get the respect they deserve. We're the only independent team in the country right now that's somewhat good, okay? You're like Notre Dame. Get over yourselves. You play in Utah. Utah's your biggest rivalry. Guess what? Make it official. Put them in the same conference. Play the last week of the season. Have some fun with it. Lose probably half your games, but you're in the conference. Stop bitching. Boise State, whatever. They're not crazy anymore. They used to be like 2008 to 2000 whatever. They were like dominant, best non-Power 5 team in the world. Yeah, whatever. They suck. Their head coach is gone now. They're probably going to get Kellen Moore as their new head coach. Big deal. Don't care. Their Bluefield's stupid. SEC, you got to give them somebody else. Somebody else is going. You give them Memphis and Louisiana Lafayette. Because, God damn it, we all know Louisiana Lafayette's the best goddamn team in the country because they beat Iowa State. And if I know anything, Iowa State was the top fucking 6 team in the country this season. So you put them in the SEC and show that they're actually dog dick and let Alabama rail them for the next decade. Memphis is fine. I wanted to put them in the ACC or the Big 12, but geographically it didn't make much sense since half the teams in Tennessee are already in the SEC.
Yeah.
Memphis, there you go. You're in the SEC. Congratulations. You're going to get shit on by Missouri for however long. You're going to go 4-8 for the rest of your history. But, hey, you're in the goddamn conference. Congrats. You're not winning in BCS. Other than that, that's not all I got. You got 18 teams now in the ACC, 16 in the Big 10, 12 in the Big 12. Holy shit, that makes sense. Don't call yourself the Big 12 if you have 10 teams. And call yourself the Big 10 when you have 14. Dumbass. You got 14 now in the Pac-12 and 16 in the SEC. Boom, bada bing, we're done. Wrap it. Guess what? Next year, Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, and whoever the fuck they want to put at the 4 spots in the playoff again.
Oh, my. That was awesome. That was awesome.
It's soft.
That was awesome.
Who gets the 4 spot out of these teams? I don't know. Probably not any of these guys because they're going to get into a conference and get railed. Let me go with Notre Dame because they're probably the second best team in the country, so they'll get in next year with whoever the hell they have at quarterback, and they'll lose in the semifinal by 34 points.
Oh, man. That was funny. That was funny as hell. Congratulations.
I'm just here to fix the playoff for you guys. Don't expand the
Well,
playoff there. Why make it? Why when there's like 8 really good teams in college football? Why make it an 18 playoff when you can have a 14 playoff and screw the other 4 teams? You know.
yeah, I mean, it feels pretty good. I mean,
No, what they're gonna
it's
do is next year Notre Dame's gonna go like 7-5 and be the number 8 team in the country because they only lost by 17 to Clemson, and they're like, you
only.
know what? Let's expand that playoff to 16 teams so Notre Dame gets in. Okay, have fun, dude. God, the playoff sucks. Iowa's athletic director, get him out of here. Dude doesn't deserve to vote on who gets in. Oh, and IU plays Iowa next year, and I hope for the life that IU just beats the shit out of them. I don't even care if Penix plays. He might not, because he might be recovering from his ACL. Good. Backup quarterback blows out Iowa. Because Iowa's offense can't sit here and put up 10 points a game for an entire season once again and expect to get a goddamn vote in the playoffs. Oh, I'm sorry you beat Wisconsin 21-7 in a snooze fest again this year. I'm sorry you went and hit the Illinois 17-0 because Illinois sucks. Dude, Iowa blows. Iowa's not good. They're not fun to watch. Iowa and Nebraska might be the most boring Black Friday football game of all time. I don't know if you ever purposely sat down and watched that game in a very slight snow drizzle and the game's 3-6 at halftime, but it's not fun. I would rather be standing in line at fucking
Best Buy.
Bed Bath and Beyond buying lemon-scented soap for 6 hours than to watch goddamn Iowa and Nebraska duel it out for the stupid whatever axe Hill Jack trophy that they have. It's horseshit. Iowa sucks, dude.
Oh shit!
And this is the funny thing is I don't even hate Iowa, but they just pissed me off this week, so now I hate them.
Oh,
and I don't know, you guys. I don't know if you know this story. I never really cared about the Ohio State-Michigan rivalry, right? I was just kind of like, yeah, Ohio State's gonna beat them. Michigan's not that good. Like 3 years ago, I'm watching IU versus Michigan, and a dude on Michigan gets hit by like a blindside block or something, but it was a legal play. He just like he didn't have his head on a swivel. He got hit. It looked bad. Okay, and I was like, it's a rough call. Michigan fans come in. That's dirty. Indiana sucks. They're a bunch of cheapskates taking dirty shots on our players. They were talking all this shit. They wouldn't leave me alone. I was like, dude, it was honestly a clean block. They didn't even throw a flag on it. So I don't know why you're bitching. All right. And all of a sudden, Michigan's my least favorite team in the country. I hate Michigan. Ohio State's my team. I became an Ohio State fan just because Michigan fans were assholes. I will take that. The rest of my life, I will be an Ohio State fan because one time a Michigan guy pissed me off. And that's how easy it is to me. Fuck Iowa and fuck Michigan.
Shit. Well, speaking of winners, let's go ahead and transition to the NBA. Tonight, our favorite teams make their season debuts, and they just so happen to be doing it against each other. The New York Knicks traveled to Indianapolis to take on the Pacers tonight. We talked about it last Monday on the podcast. We had our special guest, Rhett, on. We discussed what we thought was going to happen tonight. We all thought the Pacers win pretty handedly tonight. Have you seen anything in the last preseason games from either team to make you think any different?
No.
I don't either.
Pacers don't have Goga Batadze, so like, oh no, their backup center's not going to get 8 minutes. But like the Pacers' last preseason game, they looked good. I think Oladipo, Brogdon, and Sabonis all finished with at least 20 points. Sabonis is going to be the difference maker. He's the best player on the Pacers right now. They should get Warren and Turner back tonight too. I'm assuming Warren's going to go off in that new offense just because they finally get a chance to just shoot freely. So I mean, he could go off for 30 points any given night. Whether that's tonight, I don't know. He doesn't have to go against Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who got cut this week, so good for him. I don't know. I think the Pacers, I think Rhett had said it. Like, I don't know if the Pacers are going to win necessarily, or even, definitely not going to win handily, just because they're going to be trying so many new things and trying to get accustomed to what they want to run. But I think they're still going to – they have way too much talent to lose this game.
Sure.
their 8-man rotation is one of the deepest in basketball, and it's just a matter of do they mesh right off the bat or does it take a little bit? And they should be fine because most of the same guys from last year. It's just who knows with the injuries, and they didn't really play a whole lot last year. They were just all together. They spread out, like one guy would miss a game, and then the next game another guy's out. They just didn't play as a unit together. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
It shouldn't take much to beat the Knicks tonight. The Knicks, they're kind of, I don't know. In preseason, they went 3-1 in the preseason, but they beat the Cavs like twice, I think. Which, I mean, I don't know if you want to write home about that or not. I don't know. I'm not too thrilled about their chances tonight. I think Indiana's got. They definitely have more ways to win the game than what New York does tonight. But I don't know. We'll see. I think we're gonna see a score somewhere in the 104 to 97 range. I think that's a good prediction for tonight.
It's about what I've got. I think I had it at like 106 to 95. So
That's not bad.
similar. It just depends.
So,
Pacers are very good at blowing games late, so we'll see what happens. But
well, speaking of teams that are really good, last night NBA season officially kicked off. First game of the season, the Brooklyn Nets versus the Golden State Warriors. It's going to be really hard to bet the under on the Nets over under this season because boy, they look good.
they're deadly, dude. They're obviously they've got the superstars with Durant and Kyrie, but Karis LeVert isn't just some scrub off the bench. I mean, he gave him 20 off the bench last night. Do they have Dinwiddie still?
I think so.
I thought they did, but I thought something about him being a free agent, but I didn't even see where he went. But yeah, I mean, the Nets are good. I believe in the first 6 minutes of the game, KD and Kyrie combined for 27 points.
Yep.
I mean, you're not stopping them no matter how hard you try. They're going to put up points every single night.
It's crazy they got all that talent and they're still the second best team in the city of New York. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the Rangers are pretty good. This dumbass. I'm talking about you're an idiot. I mean, last night they had play at least 20. I mean, they've got depth. They're probably the deepest team in the league, top to bottom. 3 guys in 20 or over 20 points. They shot the ball well. They're going to be tough. The Warriors looked rough, but they also don't have Draymond or Clay.
Yeah.
Oubre and Wiggins could not hit a shot. They looked horrible. That game was kind of over before it got started, so that was a nice start to the season. But second game started out like a blowout. Clippers got out to a huge lead.
Yeah.
Blew it like it was a playoffs. And then Paul George kind of took over, which nobody saw coming. And they ended up pulling away there at the end. Clippers and Lake. I don't know. The West is so loaded, but I don't know who's the best of the bunch. I mean, the Kings probably going to come out on top of the conference. I'm assuming they're the 1 seed. Probably don't lose in the playoffs. Portland's probably going to be the lock-in at 2.
What else?
I would say the Nuggets, but they have to start their season against the Kings tonight, and they probably get beat so bad that it derails their seasons. They probably come in squeaking into the 8 spot. Who else is in the West? Memphis is probably going to get the 3.
Okay. It hurts.
I don't even know who else is in the West that's decent. Lakers probably get the 7. Clippers will get the 6. Pelicans get the 4. And who do the Pelicans play in the playoffs? The Timberwolves. Timberwolves get the 5 spot. When the Kings go 60-12, you'll be looking real stupid.
I guess I will. Oh, I will say, I think there's more of a chance of that happening than the Rangers going 56-0. But I mean, we will see.
Yeah, right, dude. It at worst the Kings go 55-0-1.
The Kings or the Rangers?
The Rangers, yeah, shit.
The Rangers are gonna have one overtime loss.
Yeah, and it's gonna be the last game of the season when they bench everybody.
Why would they bench every? They do it. They would have the conference wrapped up way before the last game of the season. Why would they sit everybody?
They would bench everybody before that. It would just be that last games when they benched even their backups, and they're just playing their.
So you're telling me you get to 55-0, you have literally 0 to play for. That's when you're gonna be like, yeah, we should pull everybody. Let's forget about the undefeated season.
They pull everybody as soon as they clinch, but then they pull like everybody that last game.
You're telling me the last game they have a chance to go 56-0, undefeated season. You're not playing everybody to make sure you win that game?
Nah, it's about more than that. You don't want to risk injury, dude.
Oh my gosh!
Because look, they'll go 56-0, and then everybody's gonna say, "Yeah, but it was a shortened season, so it doesn't even matter, dude." Just win the title, dude. It's way easier. Oh shit.
Oh my.
I'm just saying, dude. You're gonna look real dumb when the Kings go undefeated. So, goddamn, when the Rangers go undefeated.
Oh shit. Well, so NBA's back. Got the Christmas schedule coming out. We talked about that last week. Make sure to check out last week's podcast if you want more information about that. Let's get into our NFL picks this week. Luke, how are we looking for the season so far?
Not bad. So last week, I was finally back. I went 5-1 on the money line, 4-1-1 on the spread, pushed on the lock, as did you. You went 3-2-1 on the spread, 3-3 on the money line. You're up now by just a game on the money line, and I'm up by a half a game on the spread. Last week was a good week. Yeah, I made a little bit of a comeback. I can kind of do some damage this week, hopefully, if I want to have a chance, but I'm not super expecting to do so because this week's games are not favorable.
And also, I mean, it's also difficult because we're doing the show on a Wednesday, and usually we do this show Thursday or later in the week. And so early lines are just difficult to predict because you don't know what injuries are going to be, this, that, or the other. With that being said, I know that you got the Vikings game that you picked this week, and I know you probably want to talk about injuries a little bit in that game. Luke, New Orleans minus what are they? Minus 7-point favorites?
Yeah, New Orleans is favored by 7 at home on Christmas Day. They don't have Michael Thomas, and I don't think they have Traquan Smith.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings don't have Eric Kendricks, it looks like. They won't have Anthony Barr still. He's out for the year. They're not going to have – they didn't have their number 3, 4, and 5 linebackers at practice this week. So if they can't go, they will be down linebackers 1 through 5. Not great against the Saints who like to run the ball and go with the short passing game.
Yep.
Very much not ideal. That being said, I got the Vikings covering. Saints winning 27-23. Vikings have 2 guys from New Orleans. They got Irv Smith Jr. and Justin Jefferson. They're going to keep them in the game. They're going to play for the hometown, and they're going to lose on Christmas Day. But, hey, it's fine. I don't want them to win.
Well, the Vikings still got a chance to make the playoffs, don't they?
Very, very slim. They've got to win out. They need the Bears to lose both of theirs, and they need the Cardinals to lose one of theirs, I think, or maybe both of theirs. So not a great shot, but they've got a slight chance to squeak in.
So you got the Vikings covering. Obviously, what happened last week did not help their chances at all. What'd you think of that game against the Bears last week?
It was ugly. Their offensive line is horrible, worst in the
Yep.
league at times. They've got a left guard who, I mean, at this point, why even play him? You've got other guys on your practice squad that you can play. They just protected a guy off practice squad. I mean, yeah, I think he was a seventh round draft pick, but like, it can't get worse. This dude's I think he's been the lowest graded left guard in the league for the past 4 weeks. He's given up way too many pressures. Kirk Cousins faced pressure on 35% of his dropbacks over the last 4 weeks. Hey, I think he took 41% pressures last week. Not good. I mean, you can't throw to anybody for not having time. Their defense, yeah, looked bad, but it's also they're playing. They were without, I believe, 9 of their opening day starters to start that game, and the only 2 that they had were safeties, which aren't necessarily key players. I mean, Harrison Smith's really good, but if your only consistency's at safety, you have a lot of issues. So
That's very true.
it's been a very rough year for them injury-wise. When they're healthy, we've seen it. They went to the NFC Championship. They just haven't really been healthy since then. So
Yeah. Shouts out to Dan Bailey getting back on track, though. That's got
yeah, he hit 3 field goals from inside the 5-yard line.
I mean, that's not bad. I mean, he could have missed them.
I mean, I'm glad he didn't. But yeah, not
That
been an easy season.
That Vikings goal to go offense is elite. To say the very least.
Dog shit.
Speaking of Chicago, I think they played Jacksonville this week.
Yeah.
They're 7.5-point favorites. Yeah, I think your Viking season ends at, if not on Friday, it will end on Sunday. Chicago minus 7.5. I got them winning 28-20 over 47.5. You got Chicago fighting for a playoff spot. You've got Jacksonville fighting for a number 1 pick. I think that's going to lead to the Bears trying really hard and the Jaguars not trying at all. That's just a perfect recipe for minus 7.5 covering. Go ahead and hit that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I have Chicago covering, which this will be my second game. That was your first, but yeah.
Yep.
Bears minus 7.5 seems pretty much like a gimme. Their offense has been very good under Trubisky the last 4 weeks, which is surprising because no one thought he was good. I don't know what they changed.
Contract there.
Yeah,
Chicago,
I mean, I don't know what they changed internally, but something's starting to click. David Montgomery's running the ball really well. Jacksonville just isn't good. I want to hear from everybody who said Gardner Minshew was a franchise quarterback after he had like 3 decent games as a rookie, and also was an undrafted or like a 6th-round pick, and then didn't win the job, and then got it because somebody got hurt, and then he lost his job again. And people thought, well, no, he's still really good because he was a 6th-round pick 3 months ago. Yeah, and he's not. I don't care what you say. Gardner Minshew is not a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'm sorry he has a cool mustache and long hair, but he just doesn't have it. If the Jacksonville's getting the number 1 pick and they're getting Trevor Lawrence, I don't give a shit. Gardner Minshew's probably going to Chicago. This is going to be a chance for him to work out. He'll be Trubisky's backup / competition all through camp next year. It'll be the same old shit. But yeah, the Bears.
Wouldn't be the first time a quarterback from Jacksonville went to Chicago to be a backup to Trubisky.
Yeah, and it probably works out the exact same. The Bears suck. This game's gonna suck. I don't know what else to tell you. This game's gonna be boring. It's gonna be so many just handoffs up the middle. Nobody caring. Bears know damn well that they're not good. Jags can't run the ball against the Bears front 4. It's not going to be fun.
So, yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Did you pick the Washington game?
No.
All right, so let me go ahead and pick the Washington game. Washington against Carolina. I said it before the podcast, Luke, whenever I told them my picks. Washington, this one is just this one's for with my heart. I want them to lose, but if they're going to win, I might as well get some kind of credit for it. Give me Washington minus 2.5, 27-18. I do think they're the better team. I think they will end up winning this game pretty pretty easily. Carolina just really up and down, really inconsistent. Washington, they had won 5 straight before running into Seattle last week. They should be thankful Philadelphia lost a barn burner to Arizona last week, or else this game would matter a hell of a lot more than what it does. Obviously, if Washington wins this game this week, Philadelphia is out of playoff contention. If they lose this game and Philadelphia beats Dallas, next week becomes a NFC title game. Probably gets flexed to Sunday night, I imagine.
Yeah.
Either way, Washington minus 2.5. I got them winning by 9, 27-18 over 44.5.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun game because it's Ron Rivera's first shot back against Carolina.
Yeah.
Shout out to Washington, by the way. Their 2 quarterbacks are hurt. They're down to just Dwayne Haskins, and then Dwayne Haskins just goes to a strip club without a mask and risks everything. If he can't play this week, guess what? You're just the Denver Broncos all over again. I don't know who your quarterback's going to be.
Yeah.
Perfect time to do it, too. Right before the playoffs with your season on the line. No better time to do something stupid. So,
100%.
Not to mention Ron Rivera has cancer or had cancer.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad. I don't know what they're going to do about it. They said they're going to handle it internally, but I don't know what they can do without. I mean, if they don't suspend him, they're not really doing much. But if they do suspend him, they're not making the playoffs. So it's a very tough situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game, it'll be ugly, but in a good way. Like the Bears-Jags is going to be ugly and in a bad way. This one's going to be ugly, but in a fun way.
I understand that.
I like that. Let's see, where else? Let's talk about the Chiefs, okay?
All right, yeah, let's do it.
They were 3-point favorites against the Saints team who didn't have Michael Thomas, and Drew Brees wasn't good, okay? He couldn't throw to anybody but his running backs or his tight ends. He was like 9 for 27, or 9 for 28 heading into the final drive. He led a touchdown drive because the Chiefs played prevent defense. Saints score and lose by 3. Saints end up making it a push. Chiefs still way better. The Saints, I don't know the last time they showed up for a big game, whether it's playoffs, regular season. We talked about this last week. They always start the season slow, get hot, and then shit the bed to end it, and they're doing the exact same thing this year. They've lost their last 2. They play the Vikings this week. Wouldn't surprise me if they lose this one. They probably don't, though. But the Chiefs, their offense is just so explosive, obviously, and they've got too many guys that can make a difference. They're playing the Falcons, who just are not good. Give me the Chiefs minus 10.5, 41-23. Blow them out. Stick it to them. Tyreek Hill's going to have like 300 yards. They don't even know if they have running backs, though, because Clyde Edwards-Helaire might be out. Le'Veon Bell got hurt at the end of that game on Sunday, but still doesn't matter. Chiefs going to kill him.
I want to agree with you because I think Kansas City is just a far better team. It's just they don't put teams away. I mean, they haven't won a game by more than 1 score in like 2 months, and they played some bad teams in that time period. I got Atlanta covering this week. I got Kansas City winning 34-30. I got Atlanta covering. I think Atlanta's going to score enough points to keep it within 10 points. I think it could be a situation like last week where, say, Kansas City's up 14 or something with 3 minutes to go and they run prevent and Atlanta goes down and scores a touchdown and they end up covering. I could see something backdoor like that happening. I don't trust the Chiefs to win big. I mean, they win close games. It's been their gimmick. It's kind of like the Browns, to be honest with you. All the Browns do is win close games. Kansas City, I think they win this game, they're guaranteed to be the 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. If you're ever going to be motivated for a game, this is the one to do it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Give me Atlanta though, covering the spread plus 10.5.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because Atlanta can put up points, but if they don't have Julio, they really don't have a shot. They just blew such a huge lead to the Bucs too, and like the Bucs offense isn't nearly as good as the Chiefs. I don't know, man. This game does kind of worry me because 10.5 is a lot.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I was thinking. Because, I don't know, like, I can see a 2-score game and they just prevent to 1 and then just run the clock out, you know?
So it's happened the last 2 weeks with the Chiefs, too, because Miami was down 9, went down and kicked the field goal with 20 seconds left, and then
Yep.
Saints covered there with like 2 minutes left. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'll roll with the Chiefs, but that's a tough line.
Yeah.
I know we did one more together.
Did Monday night.
Monday Night Football, Bills Patriots. I don't like that they have to play Monday Night Football in Week 16. It's stupid because then you're going in short week on Week 17, then right before the playoffs. Bills won the AFC East for the first time since like '95.
Yep.
Yeah, the Patriots suck. Their offense has been a mess the last, 12 weeks. Not a great stretch, I would assume. Bills -7. I got them covering, winning it 23-14. Not going to be a fun game. Similar to the Bears, Jags. We saw this the last time they played. I think the Bills won by 7, and the spread was 6.5. So these teams are sloppy against each other. They turn the ball over a lot, and it probably happens again. Low-scoring game. Bills just come out on top because they're just by far a better team.
And see, this one's interesting because, like you, I have Buffalo -7. I have it 34-20. This is going to be really interesting because this is the first time in over a decade we're going to see the Patriots play a meaningless game in a situation where they have no chance to make the playoffs. So are we going to see them come out and try to compete to win? Or are we going to see them maybe take their foot off the throttle and try to get a better draft pick? I mean, it's been so long since we've seen this situation out of the Patriots.
Yeah,
it's hard to predict.
I don't see Belichick getting his guys prepared to lose. Especially, if you're on that team and you know that if you don't play well, you will not be on the team.
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
They're going to at least put up a fight. I just think, the Patriots being, 6-9?
Yeah.
Or whatever the record is, with how bad their team is, roster-wise, Belichick deserves a lot of credit. And people will say, well, Brady is better than Belichick because his team is 8-5 right now, or 8-6, whatever it is.
Yeah,
9-5.
He's got so much more talent, though.
Yeah, he's playing with an all-pro offense and a very good young defense. Belichick had, I believe, 3 defensive starters opt out. He's playing on a veteran minimum quarterback who didn't play last season, basically. He played 2 games. Running backs are not good. His number 1 receiver's out. He's got N'Keal Harry and Damiere Byrd at wide receiver, which isn't good. Offensive line's still kind of good. They don't have a defense like they used to, and they're 6-8. Belichick deserves way more credit than Brady does at this point. But yeah, Patriots down year, they'll bounce back. They'll probably end up with some quarterback out of the draft. They'll probably get. They seem like a Mac Jones team, but I don't know. I hope they don't get Trey Lance because then it'll just be over for the NFL. But yeah, Patriots are just one of those teams, man. They'll be back before they're. We'll forget that they had a bad year here very soon. So.
Oh, I can believe that. I just don't know. I think Buffalo, their defense has looked really good the last couple weeks. They're a Hail Mary away from winning 8 straight or whatever it is. They have a very good chance to be the 2 seed now in the AFC playoffs. That means they're playing a Las Vegas or a Baltimore in the first round. Both of those teams, I think, Buffalo could easily beat. Yeah, this game just feels very much like a Buffalo game. Like I said, 34-20. My last pick before we get into our locks. This one, 100% a homer pick. I'm doing this with my heart, not my head. Philadelphia -2 against Dallas. Jalen Hurts has looked great. He put up a lot of points against a bad Arizona defense. Unfortunately, Philadelphia's defense just happens to be that much worse. They gave up, I think they gave up 34, something like that. Doesn't matter. Philadelphia, Hurts is probably going to be the quarterback of the future there. I mean, he had the exact same weapons Carson Wentz has had all year, and he has made chicken salad out of chicken shit. Dude, dude's gritty. The guy can move. The guy is Carson Wentz before Carson Wentz got injured. Give me Philadelphia 35-24 over 49.5.
Yeah, Philly, that should be an easy win for them. But that makes it interesting for Dallas, because if Dallas ends up in the top 5, do they take a quarterback and let Dak walk?
I mean, it's hard to say because they could really use a lot of pieces on defense, but I don't know if there's any defensive talent in the top 15 picks. It's hard because I mean, you're not going to get. Well, I don't know. Do you think you could get Fields at 5?
It's fathomable.
I mean,
say Zach Wilson jumps him and he goes at 2, and then.
I mean, Jerry Jones is. I mean, Jones has said in the past he would always draft best available if it made sense. And I mean, last year he got CeeDee Lamb, despite the fact he had already pretty good receiving talent. Just gave Dak another weapon. But we've seen it before Dak got injured this year. They had a shitload of weapons, and they were giving up 40+ to the Browns. You're not winning a whole lot of games if you're giving up 40 points a night. You know what I mean? And so they probably need to bolster that defense. I could see them drafting a quarterback just that way they could spend money on defense. Because if they spend the money on Dak, boy, the only way they're winning games is that they're in shootouts. That's the only their offense will have to average 40 a game in order to go 500.
Yeah.
I mean so yeah.
The easiest way to win is if you have a rookie quarterback or a quarterback on a rookie deal. And I mean, we've seen it. The Ravens had their best year with Jackson as under rookie contract, Mahomes under rookie contract. It's just a lot tougher when you're spending $30 million on a quarterback, but you have to do it. So,
man,
I think Okay, I know you mentioned playoffs, which I'll get to because I'm going to pick this AFC playoff team here in a second, but. I was looking at it yesterday. I believe there's a chance the Ravens can go 11-5 and miss the playoffs despite there being a 7th seed. Because if they win their last 2, they'll go 11-5, and if the Colts beat Pittsburgh and they win Week 17, the Colts will be 12-4. Tennessee. That might be the difference. Tennessee might take the loss. No, because they don't play the Colts. I think there's a very real chance Baltimore can go 11-5 and miss out because the AFC is that deep. Because Miami could get in, and Pittsburgh could still get in if they just win one of their final 2. Which if they lose to Indy and beat Cleveland in the final week, then it's a whole mess up there in the AFC. But Tennessee plus 3.5. On the road to Green Bay. I've watched the Packers a lot. They cannot stop the run. And guess what Tennessee does really well? They run the ball and they set up play action. And guess what? I'm taking them. 3.5-point underdogs. Give me Tennessee to cover and to win outright, 34-30. We saw Dalvin Cook dominate Green Bay, put up 4 touchdowns on him. Derrick Henry's better than him right now, and he's not slowing down.
I almost picked that game. I almost did. The only problem that I have with Tennessee is if they get down early, their whole game plan goes out the window. The minute they get down by 10, Ryan Tannehill's got to throw the ball, and I don't trust Ryan Tannehill nearly as much as I trust Derrick Henry because you're not running the clock out if you're down 2 scores. And lately they've been down 2 scores a lot, and they've had to rely on their offense, and they fell out of the AFC South lead because of it. So.
Yeah, I think Tennessee comes out of the AFC South on top. Are they a game behind the Colts right now?
I think they're tied, aren't they?
Maybe.
Indianapolis holds
AFC.
the tiebreaker, I think.
Yeah. So if say the Colts lose to Pittsburgh this week, it's Tennessee's in the running. This says Titans can clinch the AFC South this week. So I think the Titans have the tiebreaker.
Okay.
So if the Titans win and the Colts lose, Tennessee wins the division.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Pittsburgh, they could still lose the AFC North.
Yeah.
They lose this week, and Cleveland beats who are they playing? Who's Cleveland playing this week? Detroit?
Jets.
Oh yeah. Cleveland beats New York, and Pittsburgh loses against Indianapolis. Next week becomes an AFC North title game.
Yeah, which is very plausible. I mean, the AFC South has, or the AFC North has so many, or not the AFC, not even a division. The AFC is loaded. I mean, the Raiders are the second best team in the AFC West, and they're like the ninth best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
But then the AFC South, it's the Colts and the Titans, and then two horrible teams behind them.
Sure.
AFC North is pretty deep. I don't know, man. I don't know who's going to come out of there. I think if I had to power rank them right now, Chiefs are 1, Titans are 2, Bills are 3, Colts are 4. No, Cleveland's 4, Colts are 5. Pittsburgh's probably 6, Baltimore 7.
You're putting Pittsburgh today over Baltimore.
Barely.
Dude, I don't know if Pittsburgh could beat the Giants right now.
Yeah, but that's just the thing is they can beat Baltimore. That's because they just know how to play Baltimore, and that's what makes it tough. The Colts,
they can't run the ball.
They can't throw it either.
Exactly. So how are they beating Baltimore?
They've done it. I don't know.
Yeah, but they could at least run the ball when they did beat them. They can't do shit now.
I don't think they could run the ball. I don't think they could run the ball when they beat Baltimore.
They just lost to the Bengals by 2 scores.
The Bengals are good, dude.
Whenever they beat the Ravens, they weren't playing 10 weeks straight or however many weeks they played straight now. They've got more grind to them. They don't have as much tread on the tires.
Hang on, I'm finding this game. When did the Ravens and Steelers play their first one? Ravens Colts. Ravens Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers really ran the ball the first time they beat Baltimore. They carried it 16 times for 48 yards.
Yeah, well, at least they had like a threat of running. They had Connor that back then, didn't they?
Yeah, he ran it 15 times for 47 yards.
Yeah, but like you got to at least account for that. Who are you accounting for in the running game right now?
I would much rather try to stop James Conner than Anthony McFarland and Benny Snell. James Conner is not good.
Yeah.
James Conner is averaging like 3.5 yards a carry on his career. Dude couldn't outrun a defensive tackle in the open field. Like he's just not good.
Okay. Okay. All right. I see where you're coming from.
But I think Pittsburgh's defense is still very good. I think that they're just in bad positions because their offense can't do much. If their defense is able to make plays like they did against Baltimore the first time that they played them, when Baltimore was at full strength, I think that's where we see Pittsburgh has the edge. But it wouldn't surprise me if Baltimore even still comes out of the AFC and goes to the AFC title game against Kansas City because they're that good. They would just probably play them early on in the playoffs, so it wouldn't matter. But yeah, the AFC is very fun. NFC's more wide open, but it's because there's not anybody that's good. It's a very different. AFC's open because there's so many good teams. NFC's open because there's so few. Which I don't even know who I would pick to come out of the NFC right now. It's not the Saints. It's not the Rams anymore. It was there for a minute, and they shit the bed. Probably the Packers, and they're not even that impressive because I have them losing this week. But anyway, time for our lock of the week. You already alluded to it. Who you taking?
Yeah, The Pittsburgh Steelers don't have a snowball's chance in hell of covering this week. We're going to see an AFC North title game. Give me Indianapolis -2 on the road, 30-20, over 44.5. The fact that this is only -2 is appalling. I'm offended. I want someone jailed for this line. Pittsburgh might lose this game by 3 scores. I mean, this game is probably over at halftime. Cleveland fans are jumping up and down, so happy that Pittsburgh finally sucks ass. And boy, do they suck ass. Now, they're not even a top 20 team in the NFL right now. Not top 20. They are fraudulent. They are captains of the fraud team right alongside New Orleans, right alongside Tampa Bay. Green Bay is probably going to get up to their level maybe after this week. Terrible team Pittsburgh is. 30-20 Indianapolis covers.
I feel like Pittsburgh just wins. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just feel like Pittsburgh wins this game.
No.
They're just like, hey, well, it happens way too much. You just lose to a bad team, and you're like, oh shit, and you kick it into high gear to end the season. Now, the Steelers, yeah, they suck. They are not good. But yeah, I don't know. They're just. I don't want to ever pick against them. Another team I don't like picking against because they never go how I expect them to, and they're my lock of the week this week. Seattle -1.5 against the Rams, who just lost to the Jets. Don't know how, don't know why. Give me Seattle 27-24, covering, winning it. Can DK finally get by Jalen Ramsey? Probably not. Am I hoping he does for fantasy purposes? Yeah, I kind of need it. But Seattle might be the best team in the NFC. I don't know. They had that stretch where they just looked really bad. I have no confidence in this. I don't pick to win my locks anymore anyway. Who cares? Give me Seattle, I guess. That's like my entire analysis of that game.
That is our locks of the week. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Maybe by this time next week, everything will be locked up. Who knows? But that's our NFL picks for this week. Anything else you want to talk about, Luke? We already talked about Christmas and all that good stuff.
I don't really have much else.
Did you watch the Canelo fight last weekend?
No, it was Conference Championship Saturday.
Yeah, but like the game was at 11, or the fight was at 11:30 Central. What game could you have been watching at midnight?
Probably playing PlayStation.
Weak. But yeah, Canelo, he laid the smackdown on old Callum Smith, beat that ass really badly. Did you see that hematoma I sent you? Oh man, that was nasty.
I don't think I got it. I'll check.
I thought I sent it to you on the gram.
I'll check it.
But Canelo Alvarez, my number 2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He might just be number 1. Dude's badass, man. Go check out that fight if you haven't. Other than that, I don't have much, man.
Yeah, I don't either. It's kind of been a slow week on everything other than football, basketball, and whatever. I do want to say, shout out to Sam Fuld, got the GM job with the Phillies.
Hey!
Big boss move right there.
Yeah.
Nothing's really happened. I saw Syndergaard agreed to a 1-year, $9.5 million deal with the Mets. Feels very low for him, but whatever. He's also battled injury. Cubs are shopping Yu Darvish. Reds look like they're going back into full rebuild mode. Don't get that at all. They're shopping Sonny Gray and Eugenio Suarez, and I believe Mike Moustakas. So, I mean, you had one good year in a decade, and you're just going to trade all your good pieces. Don't ask me why your team's stuck in poverty. Baseball is going to be a weird season because I don't know. Nothing's happening. Nobody's signing. Nobody's even remotely close to signing. It's just been really quiet in that regard. So
I agree.
maybe we'll see a bunch of AAA guys just starting on MLB teams. But other than that, yeah, I don't really have much else. Just ready for the holidays, ready to play some 2K, I guess. That's about all I got.
Yeah, I was about to say I work today and then I'm off Christmas Eve and day, so got some. I'm excited for that.
Hell yeah.
So, well, guys, we're gonna hop off here. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Happy holidays if you rock with that more. May the holidays be refreshing, resting, and enjoyable for all you guys. Enjoy the sports on this week, and we will see you next week to talk more sports.
Yes, sir.
So
Sounds like a
go
plan.
Mets, even though they're gonna lose tonight, and we will see you on the flip side, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys sometime next week. We'll figure out a day. Probably be late to it, but we'll be there. And recap some NBA. All right. Peace out,
All
fellas.
right, guys, take it easy.